Thank you, dear ladies and gentlemen. I go by names of Kato David Adam from the proposition side. And the first speech of the motion, this House believes that the banking sector of Rwanda has the infrastructure to support the cashless economy is now in order. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we at the proposition side, this is what we're saying. We're not saying that the banking sector is the only sector that's going to contribute to a cashless economy. But we're actually saying that we, as the banking sector, have contributed our part to supporting the cashless economy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a short example. When I'm going to make tea, I take sugar, I take water, and coffee. If the sugar is enough, but the water is less, let me tell you one thing, the tea won't be perfect. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we as the banking sector have actually proven our point and give our full contribution to the cashless economy, which is the tea. But if other stakeholders which are going to contribute to the cashless economy have not yet contributed their part, that's the reason we want to achieve the cashless economy, although we as the banking sector have done our part. And that's the main motion of today. Dear ladies and gentlemen, you might wonder what are the banking infrastructures. Let me name it. That's the ATM, that's the e-banking, and the e-banking which link to mobile money, and not to mention but a few. Dear ladies and gentlemen, a cashless economy, this is where everyone has the ability to access services without cash. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are not, as I was saying, we are, as the banking sector, not the only ones to contribute to the cashless economy, but we're actually saying that we have contributed our part and we're having a problem of other stakeholders which have not contributed their part. That is why we have not yet achieved the cashless economy now, although the banking sector has contributed its full part. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we as the proposition are also saying that we do have sufficient infrastructure which are going to help us achieve a cashless economy as the contribution of the banking sector. Dear ladies and gentlemen, according to the Smart Rwanda Master Plan, the banking sector was projected to contribute 20%. And that is actually what we're now providing, dear ladies and gentlemen, which show that we as the banking sector are fully ready to support the cashless economy, irrespective of other stakeholders, which are customers or other utilities, the merchant and customer relationship, which also contribute to this cashless economy of which is not fulfilling. Dear ladies and gentlemen, don't quote me wrong. We're not saying that the banking sector is not ready. We're only simply saying that we as the banking sector, we as the proposition have already proven our point, have already contributed our part to the cashless economy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, and that's why we as the proposition are supporting this motion. And dear ladies and gentlemen, since there were no points of information, silence is consent, they agree with us. Thank you very much.
Nothing is impossible, even the word itself says impossible. My name is Omton Queen from the opposition side, together with Babas Annette and Well Lydia. Dear judges, let me come back to the motion of today. It's saying that this House believes that the banking sector in Rwanda has infrastructure to support cashless economy. This means that the banking sector has infrastructure. So let me come on this point that has infrastructure. By defining that infrastructure, we as the opposition side define as infrastructure as the provision of electricity, buildings, roads, and many others that are included in infrastructure. So let's come back to the status quo. We have the status quo that says that 38 branches in Rwanda we have only 38 branches in Rwanda of financial sector. Means that they're only located in major towns. Means that in rural areas, we don't have enough or sufficient financial sector or institutions to support these rural people. And back to the status quo, we have that 16% of Rwandans are only using this cashless economy. Meaning, why are they not going to be attracted to this cashless economy? It's because we have the problem that only this 16% using the cashless economy. It's because they have access to these machines, meaning denied, meaning that there are not enough machines to be using this cashless economy. There are not enough machines in the country. They're only located in town areas. And in rural areas, they do not have these machines to use the cashless economy, and that is included in infrastructure. So how are they showing us that the banking sector have infrastructure when we do not have ATM cards in these microfinance banks? We do not have ATM cards in this Umrenge Sako and whatever and Ngari Musako. So how are they showing us that infrastructure is that banking sector has infrastructure? Denied. Coming back to the, like, you should asking them, I'm asking them, I was stating this burden, like, why are they showing us how these rural areas are going to be accessing this infrastructure? There is no infrastructure in rural areas. How is this banking sector tackling that problem of infrastructure in rural areas in order to lead to the cashless economy? Because if we want to reach a cashless economy, we have to look at the country in general. We as the opposition side were so upset to have a government that is looking only in major towns or in Kigali and other developed sectors, leaving out these rural people who do not have access to these infrastructures. And then how is this banking sector reducing these problems? Allowed? Thank you very much. Let me take an example of Gahini, where I come from. Like at our school, we have an Umrenge Sako, but there is no, if you can also come there is no like ATM card or machine that can be used to access. And if we really want to, what's cashless? Cashless is you don't have the cash. You use ATM, use the tap and go, use the tap and pay. And if you don't have that machine, how are you going to access that cashless economy? And they're coming here, they came here and just denied. They came here and just told us that the banking sector is contributing to the cashless economy. How is it contributing to the cashless economy? At what rate is it contributing to the cashless economy? And back, my time, and back to the point that the motion is basing on has infrastructure. Dear judges, quote on this, has infrastructure. So we as the opposition, we are showing you how it doesn't have infrastructure. Instead, we should stick on the status quo. That is saying that government want to improve infrastructure in order to reach to a cashless economy and made in Rwanda. So meaning that but we are specifically looking at the infrastructure, meaning that if the country improves the infrastructure, it's going to be privatizing this microfinance. If we see that private sectors are doing more, are contributing more to the revenue of the country, meaning that we should privatize this microfinance so that this private sector should build more institutions or more buildings, so as to import more machines. Like we say, we have the status quo that says that importing the processing machines is at zero taxation, as the information from National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda. That means that if they are privatized, as with the opposition advocating that if they are privatized, we are going to be able to access and get enough buildings and enough machines that these rural people will be able to access the financial institution.
Thank you very much, judges. My name is Patrick Kennedy, and I'm the second speaker from the proposition side. We are coming here to propose the motion which has already been stated before me. Now, if you may give me some time, I may go straight to the refutation. The first speaker here came and told us how infrastructure is related to electricity, roads, and all that she said. I'm wondering how are roads and electricity and all those buildings related to banking sector? It's not relevant to the motion, dear judge. She came here and really admitted to say that they're going to stick with the status quo. My first speaker came and told you that the status quo is that the banking sector has already done its part. That means she's saying, yeah, she's fine with us doing our part. She's allowing that the banking sector has already achieved everything it has to do. She's allowing that our infrastructure is already deployed. Then why? What are they opposing if they allow all this? The Smart Rwanda Master Plan is a source of our information telling us that the banking sector is going to be contributing 20%, which my first speaker came here and told you that we have already achieved that 20%. We have deployed ATMs, we have deployed mobile money, we have deployed applications in smartphones. Dear judge, she came here and told us about how in rural areas we don't have infrastructure, but she doesn't clearly understand what infrastructure is. An app is an infrastructure. Mobile money is an infrastructure. If I'm using USSD, I dial *775 hash, I access my bank account. Isn't that infrastructure? I'm clearly aware. My proposition team here is clearly aware that at least the mobile money in Rwanda is at 50% and it's increasing year by year. Now, if I may go on to build my case. Not allowed. Dear Judge, we are here to take on our burden, which is to show you that we have already established our infrastructure. I'm going to start that by giving you examples of the infrastructures we already have in place. We have ATMs, we have mobile money, we have e-banking, for God's sake. Why aren't they putting all this into consideration? The banking sector is already doing enough of what it's supposed to be doing. Now, without going further much, I want to ask some of the questions. What infrastructure do you think the banking sector is missing for you to come here and tell us that we are not ready to take on the cashless economy? Another question. Are you aware of the progress the banking sector is contributing to the turning of our economy into a cashless economy? If you're not able to answer this question, I don't think you're even able to defend why you're sitting there right now. Now, we as the proposition team have managed to show the judges the infrastructures we already have in place and how effective they have become. I think by proving all this to you, dear judges, as I have already done, we really in the favorable time to take this place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by name Baba Zinganit from the negative side. Now, dear judge, I'm going to first rebuild, set burdens, and also go through my points. Starting by the refutation, the first speaker simply said that having enough infrastructure that supports the banking sector having enough infrastructure. What do we mean infrastructure here? We mean electricity that includes in infrastructure, buildings that includes in infrastructure, laws, all those are included in infrastructure. So they say that they have enough, like the motion says, or what they're advocating for says that they have enough, it's already sufficient. And we as the negative side are saying it's not sufficient. Still, since in Rwanda we are facing the problem of electricity, and when you're saying electricity, this simply goes to every sector of the country. And this means either the banking, either the service, any sector of the country is facing the same problem, simply because this is the problem that is affecting the country. And you say the problem of electricity, it's not enough. Like electricity we are using, they say ATMs, tap and go, I mean ATMs and these Visa cards and so many others. They still need electricity, ladies and gentlemen. An ATM can't work, rejected things. An ATM can't work without without electricity. So this is something that needs to be improved. That needs to be improved in order for the rejected fees. That needs to be improved so that the banking sector can support that. And also, they said about the ATMs that this is very sufficient. And we told them that this is working only in Kigali. And in other sectors, rejected. In other districts, this is not working simply because there are not enough infrastructures. These banking sectors, they are lacking. I'll give an example. Most of the banks, they lend, like they lend houses. And also buildings, these are one of infrastructures. If you can lend, like you lend, like a house for certain period of time. This means that that's not sufficient. You need more buildings to back you up. Like in case, why are these banks like collapsing? Simply because they have no physical assets to back them up. Like once they collapse. So we told them they are not sufficient. We as the negative side, we are advocating for this. Let's first improve the infrastructure of these banks. Let's first improve the infrastructure of this bank sector. Then it will reject it, please. It will support later. It will support the cashless economy that we need. Hence, they themselves are saying that it's already sufficient, and we are saying it's not sufficient. We should rather develop that infrastructure. Then the second speaker said about mobile banking being infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you, ATMs, all these need electricity. They need buildings, they need different things. These ATMs are not working in Umurenje Sacco. Different microfinance banks, they're not using these ATMs in villages. And these are used only only in Kigali where these banks are only privatized or they are for private. This means that since they don't have the infrastructure, let them first improve the infrastructure, then after they'll go to support the cashless. I told you the difference. They said it's already it has, which means that the infrastructure that they are having, it's already it's enough to support the cashless. We as the negative side, we simply say it's not enough because there is no electricity, no buildings to back them up. They will give them examples of infrastructures that they don't have, they still need to improve. Okay, going through my points, I'll talk about I'll talk about increase of investors. Investors, we know that once investors come in the country, they will invest more in these commercial banks, bring buildings, increase the technology, and also that will be increasing the infrastructure of the banks. So what will the government do to improve to increase investors? It will simply set favors. An example, different policies will be adopted, giving tax holidays, bringing different things to investors so that they can be attracted to the country, come invest in these bank sectors, and also improve the infrastructure more, which is what we as negative side need, then also lead to the support to the cashless economy. Giving them burdens, let them, how are they solving the problem of electricity? They have no loads, they have no buildings. How are they solving that? And why are these banks collapsing if they have no they have no physical access to support them in case they are they're earning normal they're earning normal profit? This means that in case they are going to collapse, why are they collapsing?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nwarane Abdel. I'm from the proposition side here as the government. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very embarrassing that with much education the government has invested in its people, we are still getting no results. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about the banking system. They're telling us we have the problem of roads, electricity, building. But let me repeat the motion for them. The motion says this House believes the banking sector, I repeat, in Rwanda has the infrastructure to support the cashless economy. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like for them to first differentiate between banking infrastructure and normal infrastructure. When we mean infrastructure in this motion, we don't mean roads, we don't mean electricity, like normal infrastructure, we mean banking infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. They are telling us banks are collapsing. What banks are collapsing? Gentlemen, we'll shoot on point. We simply said this motion is already in a status, an analytical debate, ladies and gentlemen. They came here and said deliberately, we agree with the status quo, which means as far as we are concerned, since the tense of the motion says has, which means it's present, status quo means present. They agree with the status quo, which means they agree with the motion, which means they're already on our side. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on further. They deliberately said there are insufficient banks. I'll talk about our sponsor, BK. In the 50 years report, they say BK has at least one branch in every district in Rwanda. We have 30 districts, ladies and gentlemen, and there are extra more banks. We can talk about Equity Bank, we can talk about Koje Bank, which also has branches, which means they told us that the proper statistics got from the Rwanda Institute of Statistics says that we only have 38 branches of financial systems in Rwanda, and BK already has 30 of them. Ladies and gentlemen, does that sound realistic to you? It doesn't to me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me move on further. As we have already explained, the banking system contribution to the cashless economy, the turning of the cashless economy, is 20%. And we've already covered that 20%. And that is according to
Smart Rwanda Master Plan.
Smart Rwanda Master Plan, ladies and gentlemen. which is prepared by another sponsor of this competition, ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Communication and ICT. Allowed?
Which infrastructure are you including in banking sector?
Thank you very much. My first speaker made a clear point of what infrastructure we are talking about. We talked about ATMs, we talked about e-banking, we talked about mobile money. She said in Gahini, nobody has access to financial infrastructure. I'm curious, does everybody in Gahini, do you know everybody in Gahini? Do you know their financial status? Do you know where they bank? They may be banked with MTN mobile money, or with Tigo Cash, or with Airtel money. Ladies and gentlemen, their statistics is unreliable. Let's move on. As we have already said, this motion is a done deal. We are seeing the results today. Let me give you a demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, I have my wallet here. This is my transport. These are my savings. And this is my pocket money. Now my wallet is empty, ladies and gentlemen. Now, an ignorant person would say, I'm poor. But a smart person would know, I'm actually well-funded. This is the cashless economy. They were saying it's not yet here, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm here to prove we have it already. This is my transport, this is my savings, and this is my money. All in these cards, ladies and gentlemen. I have no coins, I have no paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear judges. My name is Lydia from the opposition side. Dear judge, I'm very disappointed to debate with intellectual people who cannot even, I thought they were intellectuals, but I found out that they don't even know what the motion is meaning or what the motion is saying. They are saying that what's the relationship between bank and infrastructure, banking sector and infrastructure. And we say that banks need infrastructure. Where can you work without infrastructure? You cannot, what can you do without infrastructure? When we say infrastructure, we mean electricity, we mean buildings. All these help this banking sector. Saying that they are not enough, saying that on our side we are saying that we want to improve infrastructure. Saying that we want to improve infrastructure doesn't remove the fact that infrastructure are there. Meaning that what we are going to do is to improve the few that we have. They are saying that we are on their side. But please, dear judge, the motion is saying that Rwanda has enough infrastructure. And we are saying that they are not enough. And that's why we should improve them. You are going to ask me, denied, please. And they say that, my first speaker said that in Gahini sector, people don't have access to ATMs. And their third speaker came and asked us what proves that. And if one of the sector of Rwanda as an example or as a sample shows that people don't have access to those ATMs that they are saying they are infrastructures. So what another proof that you want? Meaning that they are not enough, and that's why we want to improve them. If the only people who are going back to what they even say, he even said that Baker have distributed its branches in all the country, and remember, it's only Baker. Can all people in Rwanda deposit in Baker? Can all people have access in Baker? Why can't we improve infrastructure so that we can attract even those other banks? Granted, please. Granted.
First of all, the debate is talking about the banking sector and the infrastructure.
Thank you very much. The motion is saying that banking sector in Rwanda has the infrastructure to support, meaning that we are saying that there has no enough infrastructure to support cashless economy, and this is what we are going to do. We say that we are going to do privatization. What do we mean by privatization? Meaning that those banks, all those government banks, they're going to be given in hands of private sectors so that they can improve. You are going to ask us, why did we choose to do privatization? Because we know that this Imrenje Sako and microfinance and Mwalimu Sako, they are the ones which are near to the citizen, even those people in the rural areas. And so when we improve them, when we do privatization, this is going to encourage investors because it is going to reduce this wastage of money, because we know that in government sectors, there is this thing of corruption because they know that it's only the government has no more interest in that. But when we do privatization and this microfinance can be the one of someone else, this will improve its activity, and this will lead to improve of cashless economy in Rwanda. And even they talked about what are those we said that we are fine with the status quo, and they said we are on the side. The status quo that we said we are fine with is the status quo. We know that in the budget of Rwanda, as Clever Gatete said, that their aim is to improve infrastructure. This is the status quo that we are relying on. We know we are not having enough infrastructure, but we want to improve it as the government wants to improve it. And how are we going to improve it? By encouraging investors. Through encouraging investors, more banks are going to be developed. When more banks are developed, this is where we are going to find all those opportunities that they were saying. This is going to lead to increase of banks in Rwanda, where all people are going to have access in banks. And when they have access in banks, it is going to lead to easy cashless economy distribution. Thank you, dear Judge.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by names of Babas Anita for the request from the negative side. Now, the motion says this House believes that the banking sector has enough, has infrastructure. So this means that it's already enough, it's sufficient. That's infrastructure. And these commercial centers, all banks need them so that they can back them up in case they're about to collapse. You can still sell them. So it lacks these physical assets, it lacks electricity, different things that will show them. We get them our point. We say that we as the negative side are going to simply increase, we are going to increase to stick on the status quo, which is to improve the infrastructure, which will also reach the banking sector. We say through privatization, because we saw that these banking sectors are facing the problem of being collapsed simply because they have no finance or they have no money that will help them to back them up because they are about to collapse. So we say we're going to privatize these so that they can get the infrastructure, the banking sector, like buying ATMs, buying other buildings, like building more load and different things that will help that will help them to support for the cashless economy. We also said about increasing investors. As more, they gave an example of Becca. As if Becca is investing here, it will build a tall building. It will link the ATMs. So if we encourage these investors to come in the country, they're going to build different things. They're going to build to increase the infrastructure of these commercial sectors in different areas, either in rural areas or in urban areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear ladies and gentlemen, and I'm here for the reply speech. Allow me to continue. First of all, they say that 38% of financial institutions are only in upper sectors, but allow me to tell you I'm from my end, and we have a microfinance institution, you have a SACCO, and we have a Nyamata Beka. Dear ladies and gentlemen, they actually don't know even the current information in Rwanda. Dear ladies and gentlemen, they say you don't have ATM cards in the banking sector, and as you know, we showed you an ATM card, and they are there, and they have even contributing profit of about 84% of the banking sector. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the ATM cards are there. They say that what rate are we contributing to our cashless economy, and we say it's 20% is according to the Rwanda Smart Rwanda Master Plan, not to mention that 12.4% of the government budget is contributed by the banking sector. Dear ladies and gentlemen, they say that privatization of microfinance institutions so that they can use the private sector as a way to contribute to the cashless economy. But dear ladies and gentlemen, the current motion is talking about should we agree with the banking sector or not. They were actually off motion. Dear ladies and gentlemen, they talked about roads and buildings, but let me tell you one thing. First of all, that is not included in the banking sector too. And they said, and even with that, we are actually able to prove that that is enough to contribute to the cashless economy. We are not supposed to, that is, by the way, building roads and buildings and infrastructure is not included in the banking sector, rather the sector of infrastructure. What we as the proposition side are saying, what we are supposed to contribute to the cashless economy as the banking sector has been done as according to the motion. We are saying that, and you all know that, in order to achieve a cashless economy, we don't only need the banking sector, but the motion is about the banking, and we showed you that where's the banking sector have already proven our point. Then, ladies and gentlemen, they said they're going to be attracting investors, and we are saying no. How are you going to build a cashless economy based on investments? And that is what the Rwanda current road is trying to fight against. Then, ladies and gentlemen, they say the banks are failing, but let me tell you that there's been an increase of 22.4 as according to the minecofin.gov.rwa, showing there's an increase in bank users, which is an increase in profit. So their point is actually invalid. Thank you very much.
All right, I want to thank the speakers for a wonderful competitive debate, and I have a few points to note. I want to thank you for clearly following the speaker rules as we have emphasized before, and to my own point of view and to the rest as well of the judges, the side that is going to win this debate is the side that understood what, and the side with the best analysis of the motion itself, it being an analytical debate, and the side that laid more balance and the side that answered more questions as in reference to the questions they were asked and how they were able to defend.
So the debate was quite interesting, but for every debate there has to be a winner, and not specifically a loser, but a winner next time, okay? So he said it all, the team that wins is the team that understood the debate. And yeah, we're not going to tell you the winners now, but of course you're going to know at the end. So keep up the spirit. I loved the both teams. So yeah, we'll see the winners. May the best team win.